Let it go. Some of the heaviest burdens people carry are not physical. They're emotional. Old pain, past mistakes, broken relationships, regret, anger, disappointment. And without realizing it, many people spend years carrying things that were never meant to be carried forever. Today, I want to ask you a powerful question. What are you still holding on to that's preventing you from moving forward? Because sometimes the greatest act of healing is not fighting harder. It's finally learning to let go. And in this video, we're going to talk about why letting go is so difficult, why it's necessary, and how releasing what no longer serves you can completely transform your life. Stay until the end, because the final message may be exactly what your spirit needs to hear today. Why letting go feels so hard. Human beings naturally hold on to what feels familiar, even when it hurts. We hold on to relationships that ended, people who changed, painful memories, missed opportunities, guilt, resentment, and versions of life that no longer exist. Why? Because letting go often feels like losing a part of ourselves. Sometimes we convince ourselves that if we keep replaying the pain, we'll somehow regain control over it. But the truth is this: holding on to pain does not change the past. It only steals peace from your present. And over time, emotional baggage becomes emotional exhaustion. You cannot carry the past into your future. Imagine trying to climb a mountain while carrying heavy bags filled with stones. Every step becomes harder. Eventually, the weight slows you down. That's what unresolved emotional weight does to the mind and spirit. Many people want a new beginning while refusing to release the old chapter. But you cannot fully embrace what's ahead while desperately clinging to what is behind you. Sometimes the reason you feel stuck isn't because life is against you. It's because your hands are too full to receive what's next. Letting go creates space. Space for healing. Space for clarity. Space for peace. Space for growth. Let go of people who no longer value you. One of the hardest things to release is people, especially people we once loved deeply. But not everyone is meant to remain in your life forever. Some people are lessons, some are blessings, and some are simply temporary chapters. Holding on to people who consistently hurt you, disrespect you, manipulate you, or drain your energy only delays your healing. Love should not require you to abandon yourself, and loyalty should not require endless suffering. Sometimes letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's choosing peace over chaos. It's choosing healing over attachment. And it's recognizing that your worth should never depend on someone else's inability to appreciate you. Let go of the need to control everything. Many people suffer because they're trying to control outcomes they were never meant to control. They replay conversations, overthink situations, worry endlessly about the future, try to force relationships, try to force timing, try to force answers. But life doesn't always unfold according to our schedule. And sometimes the more tightly we hold on to something, the more exhausted we become. There is peace in doing your best and releasing the rest. Not every unanswered question needs immediate resolution. Not every uncertainty needs fear. And not every delay means denial. Sometimes peace arrives the moment you stop trying to control everything. Let go of resentment. Resentment is one of the heaviest forms of emotional energy. When someone hurts us deeply, anger can feel justified. And often it is. But carrying bitterness for years silently poisons the person holding it. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was acceptable, and it does not mean you must reconnect with people who hurt you. Forgiveness means refusing to allow past pain to permanently control your emotional life. It means choosing freedom over emotional imprisonment. The truth is, some people may never apologize. Some wounds may never fully make sense. But your healing cannot depend entirely on other people changing. Sometimes healing begins when you decide, I no longer want this pain controlling my future. Let go of who you used to be. Growth requires change, and change often means releasing old identities. Perhaps you once tolerated things you no longer tolerate. Perhaps you stayed silent when you should have spoken. Perhaps you doubted yourself for years. Perhaps you made mistakes. But you are not required to remain the person you were during your most painful season. People grow. People heal. People evolve. Do not let your past define your future forever. The old version of you survived, but the new version of you deserves the opportunity to live freely. Sometimes, letting go is an act of faith. One reason people struggle to let go is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of being alone, fear that nothing better will come, fear that they're making the wrong decision. But sometimes letting go is trusting that peace is possible beyond the pain. It's believing that your future still contains hope. It's accepting that endings are not always destruction. Sometimes they are redirection. Sometimes the closed door protects you. Sometimes the ending frees you. And sometimes what leaves your life creates space for what truly belongs there. Signs it's time to let go. There are moments when life quietly tells us it's time to release something. When you're constantly emotionally drained, you're repeatedly disrespected, peace disappears, growth stops, or you're holding on to something that only causes pain. Pay attention to what continuously disturbs your spirit. Not every battle deserves your energy, and not every attachment deserves permanent space in your life. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, "This no longer serves me." What happens when you finally let go? At first, letting go may feel painful, empty, uncomfortable, but eventually something beautiful begins happening. You breathe easier. Your mind becomes quieter. Your energy returns. You rediscover yourself, and slowly peace replaces chaos. Healing replaces confusion. Hope replaces heaviness. The freedom you were searching for often begins the moment you stop carrying what was never meant to stay forever. If you've been holding on to pain, if you've been struggling to release the past, if you've been carrying emotional weight for too long, let this message be your reminder. You deserve peace. You deserve healing. You deserve a future that is not controlled by old pain. And sometimes your next chapter begins with two simple words. Let it go. Not because it never mattered, but because you matter too. If this message resonated with you, comment, "I release the past" below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Clarity and Wisdom, and turn on notifications for more healing, wisdom, spiritual growth, and life-changing inspiration. Remember, the signs are everywhere. The wisdom is within. The journey begins now.